another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I was unsharing. Thought I was gonna have to go get my coffee, but it's right there. There it is. Well, there it is. We're gonna talk about the 4 paradoxes of AA today. Sometimes I go to meetings and just people irritate me. Anyway. Now, why would they irritate me? Why would that happen? Well, because they're not doing it the way that I want them to do it. There you go. See, it's easy to work through these things. Well, what is that? Well, that's an expectation. Yeah, but I do feel like there's reasonable expectations. Like, stop flirting with all the girls just because you're older and you think you can get away with it. It's actually kind of disgusting. And I can see the girls get uncomfortable. There again, I'm also assuming that they're uncomfortable. Maybe they're okay with it, or I don't know. I don't know. So who am I to assume? But, you know, when other people see that, what are we really trying to do? Well, I kind of feel like we're just trying to get attention. Yeah, I'm an attention seeker. So he just wasn't giving me enough attention. I went to their boss, man. Yeah, actually, that's more along the lines of advocating. I'd written a week and a half ago, hey, let's set a time. We're ready. I'm making these connections, things like that. And they talk well, but I watch actions, man. And I don't know. I still haven't figured out how long do you wait? What is the length of time that you wait that's professional, that's right, that's correct. So I ask these things. But yeah. And it's a good thing he did it because in a week we're going to be hanging out all day, and you don't want me doing that. But we're going to get to the 4 paradoxes of AA. It's Friday, people are running around, it's nice again, so they're doing stuff. I'm not expecting very many people to this one. So let's go ahead and get going. Welcome to Daily Trudge. If anyone, or people might be here and chat isn't working again, who knows. Sometimes life is just that way. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. But what's nice is now we get to handle these situations a little differently now. You know, um, and because my wife and I we were pretty upset earlier about something going on with the cars. It was just kind of overwhelming, things like that. But we got through it. You know. And her day doesn't need to be shit because of it either. All right. My Amazon order was delivered. I know because he handed it to me. Had to replace the lint. Gosh darn it! There we go. Had to replace the dryer lint trap. I feel very accomplished. It's replaced. All right. The 4 paradoxes of Alcoholics Anonymous. I think I've drawn this out long enough to where somebody's going to join. They are going to join. Sorry, I just got caught in something. All right. The first one is surrendering to win. All right. And this is going to be steps 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 are the surrendering to win. These are the surrender steps. In step 1, we accept the fact that we are an alcoholic, right? And that our life is unmanageable, right? Yeah. right? In step 2, we come to believe in a power greater than ourselves. Step 3, forgot it. Not too hard for me to find. Made a decision, that's where made a decision, turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. We found that true liberation came from, this is the way that I tend to describe it. The only way to total independence is total dependence on a power greater than yourself. It is the only way that I have found, and I've tried a lot of different ways, but it was the only one that I really found that worked for me. And I couldn't make the decision. I wasn't supposed to make the decision on what I was going to give over to God. It is going to be everything. Okay. And I think we tend to want to hold on to some of these things because we think that they still serve us. But even excitement, joyfulness, and all these other things might be dangerous for an alcoholic if we don't know what to do with them. Right? Then they may come out differently, especially excitement, man. It's party time. Party time was so happy we're getting that raise or we're getting that promotion. It starts tomorrow, and now I ain't going to make it because I'm going to have the Monday morning flu because I drank all night. All right, so that is the first paradox, giving it away to keep it, which is actually the fourth paradox, but we'll go ahead and do it now. Yes, there's a trinity, and that trinity is unity, recovery, and service. And we have found that we cannot give away this precious, or we cannot keep this precious gift of sobriety, the gift of the removal of the obsession for alcohol, unless we start giving it away. Yeah. I've worked with some people where they got, we got to the end, we finished it up, but they will not sponsor or go give it away. Well, my life's really good and things like, and you may be able to go for a while doing that, but eventually then you'll stop going to meetings. There'll be certain steps you take. Your anger will come back. We tend to usually emotionally relapse before we relapse, right? Let's see what they had to say, surrendering to win. This paradox is about accepting that you are powerless over alcohol and letting go of resistance. It can be difficult to admit, but it's a pivotal moment where you exchange control for freedom. That's a great way to put it. Giving away control for freedom. Sounds weird. Well, if we take a look at it, really it isn't. We just haven't tried it. It's kind of scary. It's scary, but not as scary as an alcoholic death. Right? So giving away to keep it. What does it have to say about this? Paradox is about giving back to the community and receiving more in return. It's about understanding that you can't keep what you have unless you give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away. Give it away. All right, so you got to give it away. Or you don't get to keep it. See, it's an altruistic program. And if altruism is not part of the process, then the process won't work. Right? I'm teaching a lot of professionals that now, right? That for us alcoholics, the only way we get to keep this is if we give it away freely. And this is how we're replacing peer stuff. We're not replacing it. We're just going back to what works well, than what we know works, right? Yeah. But the thing is when we go out there and, I've been saying that, and for a person that goes worldwide, and I have people there are people listening to me in Singapore and shit. And thank you everybody from all over the world that listens to me. I appreciate that. I really do. And I hope what I do inspires you to go out into your community and do what you can to go out and advocate for your community. Okay, you can't save the world, man. Okay, this whole thing of trying to be all over the world and help worldwide, it doesn't work like that. We have got to show our faces in the community. Okay, and some of this work is difficult. Tuesday, I'm going to go out and I have to ask homeless people a series of questions. Well, that might be uncomfortable for some people. It's going to be a little uncomfortable for me too, but it's got to be done. It's one of those thankless jobs that needs to be done so that we can provide the right resources for the people in our community, right? Now, the thing is you can help other alcoholics in your own passion way. See, I was homeless twice, so I have a deep empathy. I would even call some of it sympathy, for homelessness. Yes, I do, because I know what it means to go without, right? So, suffering to get well. This would actually be the second paradox. Actually, it'd be the third paradox. Now, right in there. We'll see. Doesn't matter. They don't need to be in order for us to understand them, right? This paradox about accepting that suffering is part of the process of recovery. Now, do you need to suffer? No, but suffering means something hard. Okay. What is also part of our suffering? Well, it's in the next part, which is I wish they would have put it first. It's in the next part. Dying to live. Letting go of your old life and embracing a new way of life. Let's get the long version here. This paradox is about letting go of your old life and embracing a new life. No, all they did was put this paradox in front of it. It's similar to the biblical idea of being born again. All right. Where are we reborn? Step three. Step three is where we're reborn. At least that's where the promise is. Okay. And what is the reborn? It's just the reframing of an attitude, understanding, right? So, since we have the death of oneself, and what else happened? What else did we lose? We lost our best friend, did we not? There's the suffering. That's the suffering. At least that's where it was for me. You know, now suffering and suffer are a little different for me because, yes, the program is not easy. I'm not going to say hard, but it is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be sober, everybody would be living a joyful life. But there's a saying that nothing good comes easy. Now there's usually, and why is there suffering in it? Why is that? Because we tend to learn from that. We could also call those failures or whatever as we go through things. But when you have the death of your old self and the death of your best friend, which is alcohol, then you're going to what do they call it? Blah, 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 what do they call it? Grieving. It's a process of grieving. Let me guess. Um, Chat ain't working again. Somebody's here, so I'm presuming they're gonna chat. I did forget to undo it and then put it back on though. Let's see if this one's so. What are the four promises of AA? Will not regret the past and will shut the door on it. That's promise two. You gave me four. Promise two. Promise three. Promise four. Promise five. Okay, something's not right there. All right. What are the two sins in the AA Big Book? I'm just curious here. The first is to interfere with the growth of another human being, and the second is to interfere with one's own growth. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm liking they did this because it's Hazelden, and I like Hazelden. So I'm going to do a repeat because there's kind of people showing up, but it won't be as long. So these paradoxes are central to AA program and help people understand the transformative nature of recovery. So the first one is surrendering to win, the paradox about accepting you're powerless over alcohol and letting go of the resistance. I wish they really would have put the unmanageability in here. So when I was out there and I was drinking, I pretty much just told people what to do. I demanded things. Hey, if this doesn't happen, that's not going to happen. And I found myself actually doing that this morning about the car with the clutch. And see, we haven't signed the paperwork yet. And he said, well, it's not covered under warranty until we sign the paperwork. And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to sign the paperwork until it's fixed correctly. So what do we have here? Well, it's kind of a pair. But at the end, I said, you know what? If we need to do it a certain way, just let us know and we'll work with it that way. We'll get it figured out. Why put resistance against somebody that's actually trying to help me instead of making those demands on what I'm going to do or not do, right? So, because of the fact that I surrendered that, I'm going to win. That's what'll happen. And it works the same with my alcohol. And now that I'm not running around trying to control everything, I'm not angry all the time. Yeah. Allowing other people to be who they are in their own way is a big thing. And if you can get to that spot, then you can look at this world a little bit differently and probably find, because just like I was talking to my doctor, oh God, she was good at this too. I was glad to hear it. Now I like her. But I told her, I've been hearing bad things about statins. And she said, well, if that's what you go look for, that's what you're going to get. And I told her, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I did tell people that all the time, that whatever your intentions are is what you're going to get. And if you look for the bad things in things, you're always going to see the bad things, right? So we cannot see the forest for the trees until we are willing to accept the forest for what it is. Giving it away to keep it. You can't keep this precious gift of sobriety unless you give away your knowledge. For me, I love passing on my knowledge. It's something I enjoy very, very much. And I've been through a lot of shit in this life. I've seen a lot of different things. And I hope that my experience can either one help you understand that it's not required to go through the yets, that there is no real rock bottom. There's just the day that you don't want to do that, you don't want this behavior anymore, that you don't want alcohol in your life anymore. That there are certain things that I have found in this life that I've seen come and go that I know don't work. And therefore I want you to know that you don't need to go that route if you don't want to. That there is a better way. It's probably harder, right? But then we also come with solutions. And if you can bring a solution to the problem that you're trying to confront, then you're going to find people probably a little bit more receptive. Or even if you have to sit down with a group and say, hey, let's sit down and figure this out together. Because I can tell you right now that a group decision is much better than a single solitary decision from one person. That has been, we were just talking tradition 3 yesterday with a sponsee. And, just like the grassroots meeting, I will revel in the day that I'm not doing it. I cannot wait for the day when I show up and somebody else is hosting the meeting. Yeah, you bet. When Dion doesn't have to be the treasurer and the secretary and everything, that there'll be enough people there that I don't have to chair, that I don't even have to vote or go to the group conscious because the group is going to take care of it. I'm looking forward to that because what does that mean to me? It means I accomplished it. That's a success in my book. Yes, it is. And then I get to do what? Sit back and watch and participate. Sure. Right. But if group conscious comes around and they decide that Dion's not going to get a service position, all the better, man. All the better. Right. So for me, it's just making sure this stuff gets done correctly. Not it. There's no credit to be taken. There's none to be taken. Oh, look at Dion. He started that meeting. Oh wow, what an oh, that's not either. That's not it either. It's the knowing that what I did might continue on and help more people, whether I'm there or not. That's what makes me happy. No, yeah, I just gotta say this because I'm in a weird mood. I mean, I'm in a good mood, but I'm a little bitchy. Like naming a foundation after yourself. That is true. If you're gonna start a foundation, use a dead person or something. Come on, you know. But could you imagine? How well do you think it would go over with my friends if I came out with the Dion Miller Foundation? They'd be like, Dion, what are you doing? That's not even you. What the fuck is that about? I'm sure in some cases it's fine, but I don't quite get it. Suffering to get well, it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna hurt as I'm gonna tell you now, it's not gonna hurt as bad as jaundice does. No, it's not. I know. That's painful. You hurt from top to bottom, you know. Remember shaking, the sweats. Yeah. No, thank you. That's the wrong suffering, right? We could take this as another in tradition one, sacrifice. That's the word I'm looking for. You might be able to put sacrifice in there instead, because you're going to sacrifice your time and your money and maybe even some of your efforts. You're going to sacrifice getting credit for things because this is a we program, not a Dion program. And so when something happens, we do it, right? So what would be the success of the group? The we portion. Yeah. Because without other people there, it's just Dion sitting there picking his nose, right? So we suffer to get well. A big portion of the suffering that we go through is the fourth and the fifth step. A lot of us have trauma from past experiences. Maybe we placed ourselves in bad positions. Maybe we didn't have the best parents. I don't like really diving into that much anymore, because we cannot continue to blame other people for who we are. I know things happen. They happen to me too, man. They happen to me too. But those people are not going to come back and admit, I'm not going to get an apology. Okay. So what do I have to? So suffering, where's the suffering in that? It'd be forgiveness. Because that's hard. Isn't that hard to do? When somebody is, intentionally done something to you, to forgive them for it. Dying to live. Dying to live. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I've got a meeting in 25 minutes and kind of want to get mentally prepared. So I feel kind of out of it. So suck down some more coffee. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. Not sure who was here on YouTube because, well, the chat isn't quite working. So I think I know who it is, but I don't want to assume. I don't want to be wrong. It isn't that I don't want to assume. I assume all the time. What I don't want to be is wrong. All right. Thanks for being here. I love you. Peace out. and have a